Hello, good evening. This is News Night coming to you from our studios here at Laboni. This program is also available on DSTV channel 277. I am Josephine Oppong-Yeboah. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. Angry youth Oppong lock up officers of the Traditional Council. They'll tell us what the problem is. Interior Minister Prosper Bani commends the nation's security agencies for maintaining peace during this year's elections. Teenage girls school dropout on the rise in Sapeliga, a community in the Boko West district in the Upper East region. ECU residents are attributing to poverty. And on the international front, demoralized soldiers in the Ivory Coast launch mutinies in 3 cities, bringing the threat of unrest back to Africa's fastest growing economy. Thank you for your time. The news now in detail. Women in Sapeliga, a community in the Boko West district in the Upper East region, have admitted they have checked their responsibilities towards their girl children's education, an issue they attribute to poverty. According to the leader of the Community Women's Association, Fatima Amadou, the community is bedeviled with acute poverty, with most women being unproductive and vulnerable.
Fatima Amadou, who was addressing the media after receiving a donation from the Upper East Ladies Association on behalf of widows and orphans in the Sapeliga orphanage, said life becomes unbearable when women lose their husbands. While thanking the Upper East Ladies Association for their gesture, she called on other public-spirited individuals to come to the aid of the girls.
We, the widows here, are managing from our small farmlands to cater for our ward's education. We don't even get enough food to fend for ourselves, let alone take care of our girl child education. This is the main issue that compels the girls to stop schooling. Some are also unable to continue because of poverty. Due to the financial burden, we have been advising our girls to marry after JHS or senior high school. We need help from NGOs and other philanthropic individuals.
Fatima Amadou called on government to initiate policies and programs targeting vulnerable women.
We are also pleading with the government to also come to our aid to end this peculiar problem facing us. Indeed, we are suffering.
The secretary of the association, Faustina Ayamga, said she was touched by the pathetic living conditions of the women and children in the village.
What has motivated us these days is because there is a lot of girl child dropout from school. Girls drop out at tender age from JHS to SHS. Some can't even continue. From JHS, you see a lot of them getting married because their parents can't take care of them. So we are here today with a little donation to inspire the youth, especially girl child, that they can learn something from us. They should use us as their role model. We have been able to go far in education. So when they look at us and they see that, oh, people have come from this place, they are here, it's because of school that has taken them there, then they'll be motivated to go further and become successful in life.
The widows and orphans were given assorted food items and clothes worth about 12,000 Ghana cedis.
Away from that story, the Interior Minister Prosper Douglas Bani has commended the nation's security agencies for maintaining peace during this year's elections. He made the remarks when he presented his citation to honor the Chief Fire Officer, Albert Brown-Gazy, for his outfit's dedication in fighting fire disasters in the country.
The presentation of citation by the Interior Minister Prosper Douglas Bani to the Chief Fire Officer Albert Brown-Gazy was to recognize his efforts in fighting the incidents of fire across the country. He stressed that the commissioning of the 35 fire stations nationwide and the acquisition of 30 acres of land at Dwyer Nkwanta in the Brongahafo region to construct the ultra-modern fire training school is very commendable on the part of the Chief Fire Officer.
And I take this opportunity to thank all the commanders for their commitment, their dexterity, knowledge about what to do, their leadership qualities. It is this humility and efficient management of the huge forces that they control and the results that they have attained that I have become so excited, and the ministry has decided to present them with a citation to be able to remember this exceptional work that they've done in 2016 under my watch.
The Chief Fire Officer was appreciative of the award and encouraged others to work hard on their part for the progress of the country.
This citation spurs on some of us that if you do a good job, if you have a clear sense of innovation, creativity, dedication to your state, I believe it goes a long way to help you being recognized. And this is what our Honorable Minister and the President had done to us. We'll continue doing our best in the area of ensuring public safety for Mother Ghana.
Angry youth of Oppong have locked up the officers of the Oppong Traditional Council to register their displeasure over indiscriminate sale of Oppong lands. The agitated youth have threatened not to open the offices of the Traditional Council until their concerns are addressed. While Emmanuel Norte, the public relations officer of the concerned youth of Oppong, throws more light on this development, the secretary of the Oppong Manche says the action of the youth amounts to indiscipline.
Do now is first we have to lock down the Traditional Council because they now have a divided front. They don't have even one team to work, and our kinsmen, the new elected ones, they are now part of that Tipo team. Some of them are part of the our king team, and they are selling the land roughly.
Concerning the vacation opposed by the other group that you mentioned, true, it is the youth who agitated that they don't want them. But the Traditional Council itself have not taken any decision. The point is, it is the regional register who is orchestrating these things behind the scenes. We know.
Metro News to keep an eye on that development and keep you posted in subsequent bulletin. This is News Night. Let's go for a breather. Don't go away. Hello again, you're still watching News Night with me, Josephine, Oppong-Yeboah. In other news, have you ever been jilted by a girl or boy, man or woman, so much you loved before? Have you or did you feel like, or what are some of the ideas that came to your mind just to free you from that deeply troubling experience? It is termed Broken Hearts, and a section of the public we spoke to by my colleague Nakunodo Fibrobe says that the experience could send one to an early grave.
A broken heart. Those who have experienced it say it is the worst thing that could ever happen to anyone. The Urban Dictionary says when one is heartbroken, they may actually feel such an intense pain they don't even want to live anymore. One may feel heartbreak when a romantic relationship comes to an end, or when one has been cheated on, among others. You cannot think about anything except for the awful pain you feel and how much you hate the person for leaving you, and at the same time desperately want them back. Many have lost their minds as a result of broken heart, while others ended up at the psychiatric hospitals. Doctors say it is a form of stress.
So being broken-hearted is a form of stress that can affect somebody mentally. So if somebody is already predisposed to mental illness, having a broken heart can lead to mental illness. But it doesn't mean that every woman who has a mental illness is because of broken heart. Loss of job, loss of income, loss of a loved one, a sudden traumatic event. So it can even be like the fires that we experienced not too long ago at the trade fair. So anything that is traumatic can lead to mental illness, anything that causes stress. And you know, people are different. So what causes stress for one person may be different for another person. So somebody may have a broken heart and may not have a mental illness.
But she disagrees that broken heart could be the direct cause of deaths. But some of those who have suffered the pangs of unrequited love disagree with the doctor. For them, heartbreak feels as if somebody has plunged a sharp object into your chest and is continually winding it.
A guy I was dating who didn't even tell me that he was in a serious relationship with different lady. We got into each other, we love each other, we move, we do everything together. At the end, I realized that there was someone that they are very, very serious relationship and even going to get married. So I have to get confused. I have to ask him, and he told me that it's true, but he has nothing to do about that. So in fact, I nearly died. For a week off, I couldn't eat. Friends have to come to me, advise me, talk to me about it, and I have to just start getting myself together. As I'm talking to you, I still have a little feelings in me.
I was dating a certain guy which I really love so much, and I think he really loved me so much. But all of a sudden, I realized that he was also in love with someone very serious, not even just in love, was even about to get married to the person, the girl. But there is nothing I could do about it. It's just to just forget about everything. What came into my head was the first time I just felt like maybe just taking poison to die, something like that. So it was a friend that came telling me, oh nah, what's the need of you killing yourself just because of someone broke your heart? So to just forget about killing myself, I involved myself into taking alcohol, going out with friends, bad friends, and those kind of stuff.
These people have not personally suffered heartbreak, but have seen what happened to their friends who suffered from it.
A broken heart, I haven't experienced it before, but I had a friend who experienced it 2 years ago, and he nearly got crazy about it. You know, he was saying his girlfriend, you know, was dating his own friend, so he couldn't stand it. He couldn't eat. He couldn't even sleep in his own house. He keeps on walking about. When I called him, he was like, Kelvin, my girl, I want to go to her. Imagine there has been this poisonous substance around him. He could have taken it.
A friend of mine, we went and worked somewhere, we get a huge money. He went and give the money to the lady to buy everything, veil, wedding ring here and there. One day, he went out, immediately he went back, he went and saw a lady with somebody again. That person is going to marry. One day we were there, they say, he wanted to kill himself, Willie wanted to kill. I said, we reached there, there is a big whale. He was sitting on the mouth of the whale. He immediately saw that coming, running away, then he entered the whale. And he wrote some small message that because of the lady, he's killing himself.
What then should one do? In order not to go through this, we must love, but love wisely. Nana Konedu of Ibrobe, reporting for Metro News.
Away from that story, the Methodist Church Ghana has described Ghanaians as people with dangerous, unproductive philosophy, which according to the church is hampering development. Preaching a sermon, he came to dwell among us. The Northern Ghana Diocese of the Methodist Church Ghana, Right Reverend Dr. Nathan Idrisu Sawini, revealed that change has come and a new government has been elected, but until Ghanaians change their attitude towards work, Government will come and go, but nothing will remain the same.
The bishop said this as part of the church's New Year message to Ghanaians in Tamale in the northern region. Right Reverend Dr. Nathan also used the occasion to appeal to Christians and all Ghanaians who, according to him, have moved away from God to use the scripture to guide themselves and pray for the country.
We have moved away to do things that are displeasing unto God. We have moved away to worship other things that are other than God. And when we worship other things than God, we raise the wrath of God against us.
Some of the congregants also shared their views on the bishop's sermon.
I think the government should improve upon the institutions, make us viable such that we will be more productive in whatever we do to lift Mother Ghana.
What we should take note is that we can motivate our people through the word of God, urging them to understand that they will not be serving human beings, but they will be serving God. But at the end of the day, it is God who judges.
We are not rewarded for hard work in the system. So the idea is that no one should put in his best. We should always rather tap from government. We should rather exploit one another for our personal gains. This has been part of our culture as I see it, and this is, reflecting in our social.
Business news is next after this breather. In business news, Commissioner General of the Ghana Revenue Authority has cut tape to officially inaugurate a 1.6 million cedi driver's lounge for workers of the authority. The facility will be a central point where the over 700 vehicles belonging to the authority will be managed.
The 1.6 million cedi two-story building consists of a driver's lounge, kitchen, storerooms, boarding rooms, locker rooms and offices for drivers working under the Ghana Revenue Authority. The construction of the facility became necessary due to the unfavorable working conditions drivers were going through. The occasion was witnessed by representatives from the various security agencies, staff and management of the Ghana Revenue Authority.
There are 700 and so vehicles that we have. If you put the value together, it is much more than the value of the buildings that we have. And this huge value of assets is in the hands of our drivers. And therefore it's important that we create the right kind of environment, the ambience under which they can work with peace of mind and be able to be alert when they are behind the steering wheel.
Head of the Transport Department of the Ghana Revenue Authority, Quenin Benin, could not hide his excitement.
Very excited because we dreamt of about 6 months ago, and today you can see this certificate being launched. We drive across the country, move to and fro the country, and normally when the drivers come, they will have a place to rest. Whilst on duty here, if they are not working, instead of standing or sitting somewhere under the sun, they can have a place to relax, sit, entertain themselves.
He also assured that his outfit will work hard to constantly maintain the facility in a good shape.
And in news across our borders, demobilized soldiers on Ivory Coast has launched mutinies in 3 cities, bringing the threat of unrest back to Africa's fastest growing economy. All right, that's all on the international front, and this is where we draw the curtains on News Night. My name is Josephine Oppong-Yeboah. Thanks for watching. Good evening.